So in evaluating properties, what are the four things that you need to know in order to determine if the property is a good opportunity for you as an investor to spend time on, to send contracts on, to negotiate on, or to just buy it if you're just getting it from a wholesaler? So here they are. Number one is, what is the address of the property? Now, from that, you can determine a lot. Now, you can get on Zillow. I like Zillow because I've just used it a lot. You can use Redfin, you can use MLS, you can use, some of the other programs out there that are available. I try to keep it simple. Zillow is there, it's available, and they keep changing it, so it keeps getting less and less functional from my perspective, but it's still there. So the address will give you the property. A lot of times it'll give you photos. If nothing else, it'll give you the street view, the location relative to where it is, whether or not it has HOA and all these other things. But bottom line, it will give you where it is, what the square footage, the size, so you can determine what a good ARV is. That's the whole point. You want to find out what the ARV, what is ARV? After repaired value. Now, you cannot take the Z estimate and use that as an ARV, because the Z estimate's created from an algorithm, and the algorithm does nothing but scrape a whole bunch of things that are similar. Doesn't know really if the property's been renovated. It just knows the size, basically, the when it was bought and sold and that kind of thing. But it doesn't go in and drill in and look at the pictures and say, oh, well, this was totally updated. Somebody spent 50 or 100,000 on this to get it to look like this, to create the sell price that it sold for. So you have to do that. You have to go in and look at the pictures and pick the 3 or 4 or 2 or 1 of the properties that have been renovated and have brought the higher price. And now sometimes you get a price that's like 100,000, 200, 300,000 above everything else. Well, that's probably not a real comp, so you really need to knock that out. There's something else going on. It's outside the parameters, or it was packaged with a whole nother deal that had 5 or 10 or 15 properties all put together, and then the county does not know what to do with that except for to put the one price on there, but it was actually a sale for 10 houses. So you have to go in and pick out the ones that look like comps. What's a comp? It's a comparable. It's very close to what it is that you're looking at, and you're comparing it. That's what this whole business is about, comparable sales. Okay, so you come up with an ARV with the address. So that's the number one thing you want to know, is the address. Number 2 is, what's the asking price? So you find out what the asking price is, and then that'll give you the base price. So if it's very high relative to the ARV and it needs 100,000 or a bunch of work, then it's not going to be a viable property for you to look at. Number 3 is, how much is it going to cost to fix it? Now, sometimes you will get that from other wholesalers or investors and so forth. They'll come up with a number. You really need to do that yourself. I talked about this on the 4 questions that most real estate investors need to know. We have a whole spreadsheet that will determine your estimation of repairs. And so you can utilize that, or you can, from experience, go through and look at pictures, go look at the property. That's definitely going to be something you're going to want to do at some point. But I like to try to do all my evaluations as much as I possibly can right on the desk, from photos and these things that I'm giving you as a means to evaluate a property. So you come up with the best you can on evaluating the repairs. And then finally, you get pictures, as many pictures as you possibly can, both outside, inside, street view. Look at the neighborhood, see what the neighborhood looks like. Find out if it's a homogeneous type of a neighborhood, they all look kind of the same, or it's more rural and all the houses are different. You got houses, mobile homes, mansions, vacant properties, all kinds of things. And HOA or no HOA, all that really kind of helps determine your value. So those are the four things I need to know. If you're bringing me a property, say, Steve, okay, I don't want to know the layout. I don't want to know all that stuff. Just give me, what's the address? Okay, what's the price? What are the repairs? If you know them, if you don't, just say, I don't know the repairs. And finally, do you have pics? And I will do the rest as a real estate investor. That's what you should be doing as well. Just give me the four things. I'll evaluate it myself. I hope this has been helpful. And hopefully it gives you a track to run on. It'll save you a lot of time. By the way, there's links to a lot of different information that you can take advantage of right in the description below.